Welcome to Monday, August 7th, 2023, your day weather podcast, being brought to you by Cowboy State Daily. The weather this weekend was, well, for many of you, a little fallish. You could feel the cooler air come on in, and especially across parts of the northern plains and northern Rockies, quite a bit of shower and thunderstorm activity since late last week. We are going to have a cool start to the week. Now, you see that picture there? That is not snow. That is hail that fell in the Bighorn Mountains of Wyoming this weekend. Sure looks like snow, but that was from some hail, from some heavy shower and thunderstorm activity that produced that hail. But certainly, it did feel a little fallish out there, and it'll be that way here for the beginning of the week with more shower and thunderstorm activity. We do have the threat of severe weather for you folks out on the plains for a couple of days here. We'll show you where. Temperatures will rebound during the second half of the week, but overall, the way things are trending, August, which can be a very hot month, is not going to be a hot month for parts of the central and northern Rockies and parts of the central and northern plains, and we'll show you why and take a look at some new long-range information that came out here for the next 30 days. Nice shot of Fremont Peak Sunday morning, Wind River Mountains. You can see the low clouds. That cool, moist air coming in with that Canadian cold front over the weekend. We also had severe weather down in southern Colorado, some large hail, some tornado and funnel cloud activity being spotted down there as the weather pattern continuing to stay very, very busy, even though we're kind of shifting gears. We're kind of out of the deep monsoon moisture flow, but we're now into a northwest flow aloft coming out of Canada, which is a way to still keep the pattern a bit unstable and active. Even though the deep monsoonal moisture is around, there's plenty of moisture and instability still available. And you can see that now that the wind's aloft and the weather's coming from this direction instead of up from the south, you can see there's plenty of water vapor and these little blue patches here, disturbances aloft coming in from the northwest and moving southeast. We have a couple of patches of a little bit of subtropical moisture coming on up, so there is going to be a little bit of thunderstorm activity returning to parts of Arizona and New Mexico, but the action is going to be up here, and you can see that. We have these lows from the Gulf of Alaska through the Pacific Northwest, and the high getting suppressed well to our south. As we mentioned late last week, this is a late August pattern, not an early one, but it's only August 7th. So the jet stream kind of pushing its way further south into the region. And what that will do is spread cool air across a large part of the country. This is by 6 p.m. today, Mountain Time. So you can see all that blue there across a large part of the U.S., suppressing the real heat, keeping it mainly far down to the south and into the Central Valley of California, but really most of the nation. Going to be off to a very cool start for August, relatively speaking, and this is through Wednesday. So temperatures through Wednesday are going to trend below average, except down into West Texas, New Mexico, and parts of the far southern areas there. But a lot of the nation and a lot of Canada, well, just downright cool for August. Now, this is where we're going to have a lot of severe weather today. Notice this large area along the East Coast. If you have any flight travel to the eastern side of the country, well, there's going to be some delays because a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity in a large area where there could be severe thunderstorms. Of course, you know how this goes. If there's a lot of severe weather at the major airports here, that has a ripple effect across the rest of the country. Across southwest Nebraska, eastern Colorado, eastern Wyoming, western Kansas, down to the panhandles here, some of the showers and thunderstorms may get a bit on the strong side in this northwest flow aloft. And we can see this trending for tomorrow. So this is for tomorrow's outlook. Again, this same area here, the severe threat, more kind of fractured now up to the northeast and southeastern parts of the U.S. And this is for Wednesday, migrating a little bit more of that severe weather into the central part of the country, while a little bit less activity here out west. So for today and tomorrow, we're going to be looking at the most active weather in this part of the country in terms of showers and thunderstorms. And you can see right along the divide here in that northwest flow is where most of the action will be. There's the heavier thunderstorms in Nebraska and Kansas being predicted, but along and east of the divide, there'll be more showers and thunderstorms. That moisture I showed you there in the southwestern United States kind of creeps on in and dry elsewhere across the west. These are the 5-day temperature anomalies, so you add up today through Friday, basically. So if you average all the temperatures together, you can see that cool signal across the west. Nothing that I would call cold, but climatologically speaking, early August can be some of the hottest weather of the year out west. This not the case this year, obviously. And yes, the models are still seeing a few flakes of snow this week. And this is mainly going to be here between today and, let's say, early Wednesday, where a few flakes could hit the higher peaks of the region. Nothing to really worry about, but that just shows you how cool the air is. Now, going out to the weekend, we do see the high pressure ridge kind of expanding. You can see it pushing a little more northward. You can see the gray. The jet stream is going back up to the north a little bit for the weekend. That will lead to rebounding temperatures here by the end of the week. Probably less in the way of afternoon and evening shower and thunderstorm activity, although we do see another little patch of monsoonal moisture trying to work its way up by this weekend into early next week there. And then if we go out further, look at this. This is next Wednesday. So next Wednesday, we have the high in the eastern Pacific, so the jet stream is going to take a dip. When there's a ridge here, temperatures are going to get colder across central Canada, the central and parts of the western United States. And this is one of these fronts that gets along and east of the divide. West of the divide stays warm, but cool air gets pushed in. Again, this is something late August, early September when you see something like this. So this is a lot going on here in the northern latitudes early in August. And this is the new 30-day outlook from the European model for the month of August. So this is all 31 days of August put together with temperature. This is a really strong signal. Look at that blue, kind of centered right in the same areas where it's been the most wet and been the most cool. But one thing to remember is when it's really, really wet, like it's been in some of these areas, there is a bit of a feedback that does keep temperatures a little bit cooler. And the weather pattern obviously is favoring that as well, with the jet stream wanting to come in from the northwest here for a good 7 to 10 days or a little bit longer. So the heat will continue to be bottled up in the far south, but a large part of the nation, August is not going to be a hot month. It will be down here, but the rest of the country, Pacific Northwest will be a little bit warm, but the rest of the country is not going to have a hot August at all. Have yourself a great Monday. See you tomorrow.